much negativity in the society. Children need an environment that fosters love, care, friendship, and appreciation.
As Child Month approaches, we call on every Jamaican to encourage, enable, and include children in May and other times of the year. If we're truly serious about building a new Jamaica, we have to start with our children. They must be given an opportunity to become the best versions of themselves. Your Jamaica Magazine program continues with a word of advice. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, April 29. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has called on the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, to continue its retooling efforts to respond to new and unconventional threats to national security. Mr. Holness points out that growing cyber threats, gangs and dons, as well as trafficking in guns, illegal cargo and drugs, has caused the JDF to rethink its role in society. He says part of that retooling has led to increasing budgetary support and the beefing up of recruiting and training through the Jamaica National Service Corps.
And that is what we must now recalibrate our civil defense and national security assets to tackle. And that is what the government has been doing. And that is what I want to convey to the leaders, the strategic thinkers of the Jamaica Defense Force, that this is now your new mission, because this is now the clear and present danger to our society. And the government will make the investment to support you in doing this.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking at Friday's opening of a section of the integrated Lathbury Barracks accommodation, office and storage facilities at Up Park Camp. The buildings will provide military housing for over 10,000 soldiers. 4 of the 12 buildings have been completed, with 2 currently under construction. The project is a partnership involving the National Housing Trust, the Urban Development Corporation, and the JDF. Construction of the proposed state-run autopsy suite is expected to get underway in June. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says aspects of the project are being finalized with the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation for the acquisition of land on Orange Street. He says the autopsy suite will be designed to international standards and will enable quick closure of investigations and bringing criminals to justice in a faster turnaround time.
With a long-awaited autopsy suite, there will be a significant increase, Mr. Speaker, in the ease with which you can provide autopsy reports.
Minister Chang was making his contribution to the sectoral debate in Parliament recently. Meanwhile, government is investing $200 million to expand the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says this will increase the use of DNA and biological evidence, as well as ballistics and other scientific protocols in the fight against crime.
Because we have a very serious culture of inform if you're dead in a lot of our communities, and therefore witnesses are very hesitant to come forward. When we have the science to support that, it makes a significant difference, and it certainly will play a major role in dismantling the gangs over the next months and years as we proceed. In addition to that, the work of PICA, for which we are familiar with in terms of everybody wants a passport, but PICA plays a very critical role in terms of monitoring our borders.
Dr. Chang was speaking at his post-sectoral debate press briefing. He said the number of trained pathologists had been increased from 1 to 6, which would reduce the wait time for pathology reports. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke has proposed to work with key players locally to accelerate the introduction and availability of hedging options, including a forward market, among measures to address the impact that recent elevated volatility in the exchange rate market has on businesses. Minister Clarke says he will be working with the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, as well as the financial sector and Bank of Jamaica on these measures. A real-time trading platform to provide greater transparency and price discovery and deepening the foreign exchange market will also be pursued. The finance minister made the commitment during a recent meeting with private sector leaders, including representatives of EPOC, the PSOJ, and JMEA. A joint statement from the minister, PSOJ, and JMEA says it was a fruitful meeting with a positive outcome. Residents of Belfield and other central Manchester communities now have a reliable source of potable water, as a water shop has been opened in the area. It was officially opened last Thursday by Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie. Built at a cost of $9.5 million, the water shop also serves Banana Ground, Blue Mountain, Bombay, Virginia, Top Belfield, Davyton, and Coffee Grove residents. They will now have access to more than 20,000 gallons of purified water daily, which Minister McKenzie says will be provided to the community free of cost for the next year.
We will probably review it to see how it works, but no residents should be turned away because there is no fee associated with water at this facility right now. No fees whatsoever. And we're going to ensure, Mayor and CEO, that those tanks should never run dry.
Minister McKenzie thanked Dylan Dawkins, who leased the land on which the facility was constructed. The lease is initially for 10 years with an option to renew. The local government minister says more water shops will be built to deliver reliable supply to other communities across the island. And finally, Minister of Health Dr. Christopher Tufton says the draft to National Nutrition Policy for Schools has been completed and will be brought to Cabinet shortly for deliberations. Dr. Tufton made the announcement as he addressed the Jamaica Teachers Association's 18th Annual Education Conference in St. James recently. The policy is being developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. It will become a guide for schools in promoting healthy eating and physical activity among students. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe, and it helps their development process.
It's the last Monday in the month in which we celebrate our farmers, and we intend to go out the same way we started. Take a look.
All this from just 3 peas.
While we're coming, I saw 2 grain of peas on the road, and I picked it up. I take it home with me and I planted it beside my Callaloo garden at the home.
This was in 1982, and the 3rd pea was found just a few days later at the same spot.
I saw a sucker. I just take my machete, take it up like that, and I hold it like that and go to the field. And I planted it there. And that's how I started. From then, I keep planting and keep planting, and I buy a cow out of it. I raise chickens out of it, and I feel delighted to keep on doing it. As the message is that we might not have the wing way of life to fly up, but with small grains and have the courage to do it, we can reach somewhere.
Words of wisdom from Zephaniah Gibson, affectionately called Reuben, which somehow evolved into Benjamin. This West Rural St. Andrew farmer is proof positive that big things can come from small starts. It's a message he's eager to share, using his success as an example, from 3 peas planted in 1982 to close to 1 acre being sown and reaped today. It's a journey that has been documented in a manuscript titled Benjamin's Adventure.
And it born out of a desire to help those who are lazy. You don't want to do anything, and you say, this little morsel or this little, two grain is too small to start with. But Benjamin start with it. And it wasn't hard to do it for me because I love farming. And here is it today, rain in abundance.
Mr. Gibson, or Benjamin, is a farmer at heart, working the soil every chance he gets.
I would not live nowhere if I don't have even a square like this to plant something. I don't want it to live. No. Planting is my nature and I enjoy. And every day, you know what is big thing? 365 days make a year. And last year I've never bought 1 grain of peas, heating my rice and peas.
And this passion has him planting just about anything.
If you want me to cut it, make it very pretty. And it's 10 pumpkin come on the 1 tree. So I picked up 3 already. This is the 4th one, and I have 6 more. This is a blue and white Sylvan's. This yam heat, very delicious.
Mr. Gibson embodies the Ministry of Agriculture's Grow What We Eat What We Grow campaign. From his humble farm, he has been able to feed his family and provide for them from the sale of his produce.
I use the farm as a source of backup along with my trade. I am a skilled stone mason. I do painting otherwise and masonry. Looking back, if I had to do it over again, I would still do it because I thank God He gave me strength to do it and the courage to do it. I'm a happy farmer. I'm a happy Benjamin.
At home in Salisbury Plain District, St. Andrew, his wife gives him the support he needs.
We prayed and asked God to bless whatever He put in the earth. And I know that the Lord did what we have asked Him for. Little is much when God is in it. I didn't plan to marry a farmer, but I have no regrets. He's very hardworking and willing to do. When he reap the crop, I sit down and I shell out the peas them. And then we put it to sun, and sometimes we sell it to neighbors and sometimes far out. And he saves his money, and that helps support us very well. And I thank God for that. We live as a loving people, helpful to each other, anything we share among ourselves.
Things are good now, but Zephaniah Gibson has had moments of hardship, like losing a whole field of young plants to heavy rainfall. But he got up and got to planting again.
Although I am not down on my face, I am not going to lie there. I am going to stand tall and fight on. I said, courage, brother, do not falter. I still decided not to stop because food is a must. Food must come from somewhere and it must be planted. You can join the ranks too. Stop digging out your hand, Miguel. Join the ranks. Stop wasting time. Farm the land to feed your family.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
We're not only promoting careers in food production, so let's see how we can match our skills to career opportunities using government's labor market information software.
Since 2001, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Labour Market Information System, LMIS, has provided a cost-effective way for employers to source and find suitable employees, as well as for job seekers to find employment. The LMIS has three components: the Labour Market Intelligence, LMI, the Skills Bank, and the Electronic Labour Exchange, ELE. These three components are interwoven to equip job seekers and employers to meet the demand of the labour market. The Labour Market Intelligence Department, LMI, collects labour market information and uses this information to determine trends and factors which influence the market. The department spearheaded the National Labour Market Survey 2017, which was tabled in Parliament by Honourable Minister Shahini Robinson. The survey identified 6 key findings.
1. Less than 1% of the workers in the participating firms were foreigners. 2. 80% of firms found it difficult to fill vacancies in their organizations. 3. Most firms were optimistic about their business prospects. 4. The hotel and restaurant services had the greatest opportunity for growth in the labor market. 5. Demand will be greatest for skills workers in production and services with 72%. And 6. 10% of the firms employed persons with disabilities.
The survey is beneficial to policymakers, curriculum developers, students, job seekers, and employers who can use the information to assess imbalances in the labour market. Labour market intelligence is also utilised to better position the LMIS to meet the needs of clients. The Electronic Labour Exchange, ELE, is the core component of the LMIS. It's a critical tool for linking job seekers with employers where the in-office services are enhanced by an online portal.
Persons can go and register on or offline. They can create their resume and post their qualifications. And we match those skill sets with jobs that are already posted by employers.
What we do is to do preparatory work in terms of getting individuals ready for the world of work. And these are done through our employability skills sessions. And these are done effectively to allow for the individual person to be ready to go into an organization and display the relevant soft skills that we want in order to have productivity.
It showed me that it doesn't matter what happened in the office or what is going to happen where you go. There's always help and strength there. You should just take the good from it and leave the bad where it is. Without the program, I would have never gotten that training.
Since its launch, the LMIS website has attracted more than 14,000 job seekers and over 1,000 employers, earning their trust and becoming a national employment portal.
We have been partnering with the Ministry of Labour to have interns coming in and joining our team for 3-month periods. What they have been able to do is to come in and to create a steady pipeline for us of talent that we have been able to infuse into the workspace and to be able to fill our entry-level roles. The experience has been a good one for us. We've been able to find talent that we can transition into the organization, and most of them are still with us and doing very well.
I am very grateful for the program. When I left high school, I was in and out of jobs, and thanks to the ELE program, I'm here at the COK Sodality. I've been to 3 departments thus far, and I must say it has been a very good experience.
The LMIS is committed to serving Jamaica's labour force and has been building sustainable partnerships to enrich and increase access to the service.
The latest of which has been through the New Employment Opportunities Project, which the executing body is youth. And what that does is to allow for our
individuals who are conducting our employability skills sessions to be trained in global standards as to how to do it. It also facilitates a development of a mobile app that would allow for individuals to be able to access our web portal.
In seeking to cement the public-private partnership, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Jamaica Library Service, with the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, and we intend to do that island-wide.
Through this MOU, job seekers are able to use both facilities to access the services of the ELE portal, effectively allowing the LMIS increased penetration across the island. To improve human capital and labor market outcomes for the poor, the ministry has partnered with the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, to develop and implement an on-the-job pilot for 1,500 PATH program beneficiaries.
Through the electronic labor exchange, we are targeting persons from these households between the ages of 17 to 25 for job placement. Now, before we place them in jobs, we want them to be able to function effectively in the labor market. We want them to be able to retain those jobs. And it is through retaining those jobs that we will truly break the intergenerational cycle of poverty.
The LMIS is grooming and empowering Jamaicans to achieve their fullest potential by utilizing labor market information, promoting the services of the ELE, and strengthening labor market opportunities through partnerships. The Labor Market Information System, providing easier access to employment opportunities.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
In observance of Cervical Cancer Awareness Month this April, we highlight a story of triumph over the disease.
She had her first child at 16 and the second just past the age of 19. Her life was going well until, at age 26, she started to experience excruciating pain with abnormally heavy periods. She dismissed it. Maybe it's stress, a miscalculation of the period start date, until one night, the pain became too unbearable to ignore.
When I went to the doctor, she said, do a pap smear. When I did the pap smear, 3 weeks after, she called me and said, what they see, the pap smear don't come back normal. I have to go and do a colposcopy.
Her doctor advised her to see a gynecologist. At the gynecologist, a test was done and an emergency colposcopy ordered.
A colposcopy is the insertion inside of it with a camera and all the tests to see what's happening. And when they did the biopsy and everything and it come back, I was literally at a stage 3 cervical cancer. At 26 with 2 children and at a stage 3 cancer, all you hear about cancer is death.
Determined to fight, she weighed her options. Her treatment of choice was radiation and chemotherapy at the Kingston Public Hospital.
Radiation burns your body. Can you imagine you cannot have a shower for at least 3 to 4 months? You just have to pat and do everything. You cannot eat normal food because if you do, you're going to have constant diarrhea or vomiting because your system starts to change. But thank God for KPH, there were some good doctors there. Very good doctors who encouraged me, who loved me through this, as I was one of the youngest young girl at KPH at that time, going through this and doing this treatment. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I went through it. I prayed, thank God. He had a plan for me, and I'm here today. And I am here with this team saying taking responsibility. It's not the government to take responsibility for you. I'm going to encourage parents to encourage your children to take care of them, to protect them from this act before it's too late. Some of us don't show signs. But look at me today. Thanks to KPH, thanks to the good doctors, thanks that at 26 I didn't have any money. So what would I do? Don't I would have died? And I hear people talk about the system. No. They are there to help us. I pay a little money. That's why I'm standing here today with the grace of God. Amen. Right? So go to the clinics and go with a good attitude and talk to your nurse and your doctor, and you will see how it works out. So remember, take responsibility for who? You and your... Okay.
For more information on cervical cancer caused by the human papillomavirus, call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. You may also email hpvinfo@moh.gov.jm.
What can a little germs do?
Pink eye running belly, even flu. Germs can make them happen to you.
Put germs and manners with these. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Always wash your hand with water and soap. Keep dirty hands from your eyes and your nose and your mouth. You don't want to be sick, take care. Practice every day, no germs round here. A message from the Ministry.
And that's where our program ends, but only for today. Be sure to join us tomorrow around about the same time for more of the positive happenings taking place right here in Jamaica land we love. Keep in touch with us, won't you? Send emails to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. Visit our website, jis.gov.jm, or join us on all the major social media platforms. And be sure to download our mobile app to your smartphone. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.